So I am glad to be done with that energy, or at least coming to the end of it. I'm really looking forward to today's lesson. I feel like it's very well timed. This little piece of hair is going to keep standing up and driving me crazy, but we do what we do. I'm very excited about the lesson today because I'm going to be talking about energy, how it works in the body based on different teachings that I've received, as well as what happens to our energy when we are sleeping. And this is, hey, Meta, how did it go this morning? Oh my gosh, did you have the best time ever celebrating your daughter? Oh my gosh, I hope you had the best time ever. I really, really do. I was very excited for you. Hey, Chrissy, welcome in. I was just about to say, Chrissy, the reason I created this lesson is because Chrissy asked what happens to energy when we're sleeping. How come some of us wake up a lot? How come some of us get hot a lot? Like, what are all these things? 9 chords and 4 awards. Holy cow, Meta. What a wonderful accomplishment for her. Please, please pass along my congratulations and my heartfelt sincerity for how happy it is. I'm so happy to walk home with you, Janelle. I'm so happy to be here with you. I hope you stick around for the lesson. Just so you guys know, this lesson will be on replay once we're all done. The way this works, I'm going to read the lesson that I created. I write out all of these lessons before I give them. Yes, hello, Cheryl. I write out all of these lessons, and when I come on YouTube, I try to not squirrel too much and move away from the concept. So I'm going to read through everything that I wrote, and then what will happen is I'm going to offer the floor to the collective, whoever's in the group. If you have any questions about anything we've talked about, you just put it in the chat, and we will absolutely get to it. And if I don't have the answer, I'm the first to say I don't have the answer, but maybe someone in the collective does. Thank you for watching, Moonstone. I'm so glad that you really are able to take those daily check-ins, those daily Schumann resonances, and use them. That's the whole purpose, is to give you a map on how your day might go so that you can better plan, be more in control, all that sort of stuff. So today, like I said, we are talking about energy in the body, and I am so very excited to get started. I'm going to give it just a few more minutes to give people some time to get here. Hello, Charles. Welcome in. Yes, Chrissy, I'm so excited. Thank you for suggesting it. Hello, beautiful people. I love it. Create Love. What a great name. If you have a suggestion for a topic, thank you. Thank you, guys. Hey, Nancy from St. Louis. I'm so glad you found me too. Hello, Danielle. If you guys ever have a topic that you would like covered in Professor Brown Breaks It Down, I am more than happy. Hi, Amy. So good to see you. I am more than happy to try to create a lesson to bring clarity to any questions you might have. My email address is always in the show notes, and you can always email me if you have something that you want to talk about. From the Netherlands, my goodness. Hello, Tracy. So glad to see you. I am so glad to be here with you guys, and this is truly my passion to be able to teach and to bring understanding about different topics, so I'm really looking forward to this. The replay, like I said, hello from colorful Colorado. I thought I said Columbia. Hello from colorful Colorado. I gotta be honest with you guys, I need reading glasses like yesterday. I have a pair that I keep downstairs. The problem is I can't go from one to the other. It's hard for me to focus. So if I misread your comment or your name, please know it's just because my eyes are blurry because I'm old. So no offense intended, of course. So like I said, please feel free to share out this replay if you get it, if it feels like it resonates with you. And if you ever have any questions about a subject that you would like to see covered in Professor Brown, just email me. I will create as much as I can for you, as much understanding. Loves Park, wonderful. At Kelly, hello, happy Monday. Aw, thank you. Thank you, Amy. I'm so glad to be here. It's my distinct privilege to be able to be here with you guys. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started on the lesson. Like I said, I'm going to read the lesson. My mod Meta Sanchez is in the room with us. If you have a question and I'm in the middle of something, you can always ask her. Otherwise, hold on to your questions. Write them down so you don't forget, and then hold on to them till the end, and we will address all the questions that I can towards the end of the session. So today we are talking about energy, the dynamics of energy in your physical body, your metaphysical body, and what that looks like. How does energy work in your body? body. Also, what happens to that energy during sleep? Like, if we're all energetic beings, why do we need sleep, right? That's the sort of question that we're going to talk about. Hello, Penny from Iowa. So glad to see you. So I'm going to go ahead and start reading the lesson. Please know that if I'm reading the lesson, I may not see your comments. I promise I'm not ignoring you. I will get back to them, but if I keep looking up from my lesson, I will get distracted. Hey, Rio de Janeiro, my goodness, I bet it's beautiful. I bet it's beautiful there. I hear it's so beautiful in Rio. All right, so in exploring the dynamics of energy within the human body, traditional understandings often draw from ancient systems like traditional Chinese medicine, or TCM, and Ayurveda. These systems emphasize the concept of qi, or prana, respectively, as the vital life force flowing through the body's energy channels. In TCM, or traditional Chinese medicine, the body's organs are believed to be interconnected through meridians, and any imbalance or blockage in the flow of qi can lead to illness. Similarly, Ayurveda identifies 7 chakras, the 7 main chakras in our system, or energy centers along the spine, each associated with specific physical and emotional attributes. According to these traditions, maintaining the balance and free flow of energy is essential for overall well-being. I'm so glad you're here, Terry. I'm so glad you're here. So here's something. If you guys want a good visual representation of how energy works through the chakras, there is a cartoon clip of Avatar: The Last Airbender where they were talking about this using pools of water and the flow of water. It is a fantastic explanation. You can look it up on YouTube, and it's very quick to find. But it's a cartoon representation of how energy moved based on Avatar, and it's a great tool for understanding energy if you're looking for a visual representation. Yes. Well, it's from the series, not from the movie. It's from the series. It's the movie was good too, but it's from the original series. So metaphysical understandings of energy in the body delve into the interplay between thoughts, emotions, and the energetic field. Dr. Joe Dispenza, for instance, explores how thoughts and emotions can influence the body's biochemistry and energy patterns. His work highlights the power of intention and visualizing in rewiring neural pathways and creating positive psychological changes. Similarly, Dolores Cannon's research into past life regression and metaphysical healing suggests that energetic imprints from past experiences can impact one's present health and well-being. By accessing and releasing these imprints, individuals can facilitate healing on physical, emotional, and spiritual levels. For those of you who don't know, Dolores Cannon was the pioneer of quantum hypnosis healing technique, QHHT. It is a technique in which you are regressed through hypnosis into a past life experience. You go to different points in that life experience, you gain insight from what happened in that life experience, and then you're able to take that and apply it to your current life experience. Myself, I have had 3 of these sessions, and each one of them was wildly different from the other, but they were all incredibly helpful in helping me move beyond some of the issues I had gotten stuck with. So that's who that is. And you can look it up, Dolores Cannon. There's tons and tons of videos about it. Her books have been really helpful. They are basically just transcripts of her sessions with clients. But the amount of information that comes out in there is fantastic. And the one thing that really stood out to me is no matter who she's interviewing across decades of time in different locations, these people don't know each other. They all have very similar stories. So to me, that shows a thread of truth going through this. And that to me is the validation I need. So I really love her. I highly recommend her if you're looking for deeper clarity on your life. Esther Hicks, Abraham, right? Through her teachings of Abraham, emphasizes the role of emotions as indicators of one's vibrational alignment with your desires. According to Hicks, emotions serve as a guidance system with higher vibrational emotions indicating alignment with one's true essence and lower vibrational emotions signaling resistance or misalignment. This perspective suggests that maintaining positive emotional states can enhance the body's energetic flow and support overall health. Ram Dass and Eckhart Tolle further explore the concept of presence of presence and mindfulness as keys to assessing higher states of consciousness and aligning with the underlying intelligence of the universe. By transcending egoic identification and mental chatter, individuals can tap into the limitless reservoir of energy available in the present moment. My personal perception of how energy operates within the body is as follows. And this is all information that I take in accordance with my physical medicine training, 25 plus years as a nurse, teaching at a medical school, in addition to what I've learned through my hypnosis sessions, through my meditations, and through my own work. So my perception of how energy operates in the body is as follows. So visualize the atoms within your body and the swift movement of electrons around them that form a cloud-like structure around the atom's nucleus. So we used to think that electrons just stayed in their orbit and would be orbiting around the atom. But with the improvement of technology and electron microscopes, we have come to learn that these electrons are not stable in their orbit. They actually create a cloud around the center of the atom, around the nucleus. And this cloud holds energy. That's important, okay? When energy enters through your crown and or your root chakra, it disperses into your energetic field. This energy is often felt as emotions, which are also energy in motion is an emotion, okay? When faced with an unwanted emotion, we tend to suppress it, compacting it into the areas surrounding the atom where the electrons have created these energy clouds. Typically, these emotions are stored in the atoms linked to the chakra associated with a specific emotion. For example, grief is commonly stored around the heart chakra. By continuously repressing this energy, the atoms become denser, settling within the body's cells and slowing down the metabolic process. This accumulation of dense emotions within the atoms of the cells can lead to the onset of physical illness. It is after you build up a lot of this energy that you don't want to let go of over time, that's where the illness comes from, is by adding and adding and adding and adding. The cell gets heavy, sort of sinks down, and it's not functioning properly on a metabolic level. Therefore, it creates dysfunction within that cell and starts to spread to other cells, creating illness, okay? These accumulations of dense emotion can lead to the onset of physical illness. It is crucial to allow yourselves to experience and release these emotions to create space for lighter energy and a higher vibrational state. So for example, when you feel, the whole purpose of your life is not to save other people. The purpose of your life is to find yourself, to rediscover yourself through the process of forgetting who you are, coming into this environment and rediscovering everything about you from a different perspective, this physical incarnation of yourself. When you feel emotion, the idea behind it is it comes in, let's say joy. Joy comes in and it ping pongs around in your system, distributing little bits of emotion all throughout your energetic system. You feel this joy, you get excited and happy, and then you allow it to leave your system, leaving behind what you need and taking with it what you don't. But what tends to happen is we get an emotion we don't like grief, and it comes in and it starts to ping pong around, and you go, ooh, I don't like this, and you grab it and stranglehold it and smash it and push it down, and you end up storing it in the cells around the heart space. This is grief specifically. Over time, it builds up, it's compounding, it continues to build up. Unless you are actively working to release it, once you start to store it, it's there. So you have to take active steps to release it once you have already started to store it in your system. When you start to release the energy, this is done through energy work. In Reiki or energetic practices, what they're literally doing is we are going into the cells, into the atoms of the cells, and sort of squeezing that electron field to squeeze out that energy up into the space. This brings it to the surface for acknowledgement. I understand, I feel grief, and release. I understand it's okay to feel this grief, and I'm going to experience it and let it leave my system. So that's how you make room in the cells. And with the Schumann energy, when I am talking about the stitching pattern, which we've been in for a couple days because of all this big energy we've been getting, that new energy comes into that electron space and pushes out all that dense energy that's stored in there, anything that's ready to go, anything you've been kind of working on that has kind of like come loose from the sides type thing, that gets pushed out. It was replaced by the new energy, and the old energy comes into the system to be acknowledged and released. This energy is a physical energy. It's in your body. And when you start to go through this, where you are releasing dense energy, you will often have a stage of purging that happens. It can look different for different energies and different people, but a lot of times it comes in the form of breakouts, right? Even as a 50-year-old adult, you may get a breakout if you are releasing density from your space. Lower GI upset stomach, diarrhea, that sort of thing. Pain in the body, especially lower chakras, can make your knees, your feet, your lower back, all that sort of aches. All of this stuff can feel like a very physical illness because it's been squeezed into your body, and now your body has to get rid of it. This is where ascension sickness comes from. The idea of you are moving forward, and to do that, you must not only let go of what you're holding on to, but make room for new. So that's where the idea of ascension sickness comes from. Yes, and SLRD is 100% right. Crying is a huge part of release. Crying is one of the most cathartic and best exercises you can do for yourself. I tell people all the time, do not, under any circumstances, when you are crying, stop yourself because you don't understand in the moment why you are feeling those feelings. A lot of people will stop themselves from crying going, I don't know why I feel this way. This is so stupid. But I promise you, if you are crying, there is a reason, and you don't always have to understand it in that moment. In that moment, it's just trying to leave your body. So do yourself a favor and allow it to come up and out of your system. Don't hold on to it. Let it leave your body, right? As it leaves your body, a lot of times what happens is a sense of peace and calm will settle over you after you've cried it out. You know that feeling you get after a hard cry. It's like the quiet after the storm, right? So in that quiet time, if you can give yourself permission to really look within and ask, where did that come from? A lot of times the clarity comes through there. Oh, I was triggered about, and I see how that relates to, and this is where that energy came from. So there's a lot of that happens when you are releasing. You want to do the best to not let go of anything that to not hold on to anything that is trying to leave your system. You just really want to do, just let it out. That's the best you want to do, is let it out. That is the most productive thing you can do for yourself. Take it as that idea as opening space in your cells to welcome in new, fresh energy and make those cells rise and sort of buoy again and get the metabolic processes running back. So that's a general breakdown of how energy works in the body. So I want to continue on to about what happens to energy when we sleep, right? Because energy is always in motion. Law of attraction and quantum physics and regular physics all teach us energy is always in motion. Always moving forward, always doing that sort of thing, okay? So both traditional and metaphysical understandings of energy in the body converge on the notion of interconnectedness and holistic well-being. Whether through the lens of ancient healing systems or contemporary spiritual teachings, there is a recognition that the body is more important than just a physical entity. It is a complex network of energy and consciousness. By cultivating awareness, intentionality, and alignment with one's true essence, individuals can optimize their energetic flow, promote health and vitality, and ultimately deepen their connection to the greater web of existence. From a spiritual perspective, sleep is not merely a cessation of physical activity, but a profound journey of the soul. While the physical body requires rest to rejuvenate and repair, the metaphysical aspects of ourselves transcends the confines of time and space during sleep. Spiritual teachings from luminaries like Jane Roberts, Esther Hicks, and Ram Dass offer insights into the expansive nature of consciousness during sleep. Jane Roberts channels works particularly through the entity known as Seth, and if you have not read or heard of Jane Roberts, she is the OG channeler. She was before Bashar, she was before Esther Hicks, she's the OG, okay? And she's got tons of books out there, one called The Unknowable or The Unknown Universe. Mind blowing when I read that. The amount of information that came through in that book, I cannot even explain to you how much clarity I got. I could not recommend it more if you are ready for it. It's definitely a deep dive, but if you're ready for it, take a look. Suggests that during sleep, the soul disengages from the physical body and enters different planes of existences. These experiences are not bound by the limitations of the physical world, but encompass a vast array of realms and dimensions where learning and exploration occur. Similarly, Esther Hicks, channeling the collective consciousness known as Abraham, emphasizes the idea that sleep provides an opportunity for the soul to expand and integrate new experiences beyond the constraints of the physical body. Ram Dass, renowned for his teachings on spiritual awakening and mindfulness, suggests that during sleep, individuals have the potential to connect with their higher selves and the universal consciousness. This state of deep rest allows for the dissolution of egoic boundaries and the immersion into the interconnected web of existence. From this perspective, sleep becomes a sacred journey of self-discovery and alignment with greater consciousness. When considering your metaphysical state during sleep, keep a few key points in mind. Number one, the more attuned you are to your own energy, the more likely you are to wake up at night when your astral body returns to the physical realm. Energy movement generates heat. Think about boiling water, right? Which can manifest as a sudden hot flash upon re-entering the physical body. This happens to me all the time, every night, without fail, except for once or twice, okay? And the way it feels to me is I will be in a dead sleep. Sometimes I'm dreaming, sometimes I'm not, but I will be in a dead sleep, and suddenly I will snap awake, just wide awake, and a rush of heat comes over me. But the heat does not stay in my body. It's like landing. I lands and then it dissipates. And it's all over my body all at one time. There's no heating up, there's no cooling down. It's instant, like this. Heat, whoosh, and then it's gone. And usually what happens is I'm left freezing because I'm covered in sweat and now I'm cold. You know what I'm saying? So it's very much a feeling of energy suddenly coming back into the body. During our sleep processes, we are constantly leaving and coming back, depending on what you are doing, what you are learning, where you are going, and who you are interacting with. All of this changes based, how many times you come in and out of your body changes based on all of those factors. And while some nights may be more busy than others, every night you are doing some kind of learning experience, okay? So keep that in mind. Next, our human minds have limitations in perception. This is very important to remember. Dream imagery often reflects the information absorbed during sleep, but it may not always be an accurate representation due to our own cognitive constraints. So when you have a dream, focus on your emotions in the dream rather than the visuals. And what I mean by this is our brains are very limited in our capacity to understand certain concepts. There's many concepts that are far beyond our scope of understanding because we live a physical life and we live in duality, we live in linear time, all this stuff. So our brains may have a hard time trying to translate or reflect the information that we are given in our sleep state. So it's more important, at least I've been shown, it's more important to pay attention to how you feel rather than focusing onto the actual imagery. And what I mean by that is if you have a dream that you're in a car driving somewhere with people and outside of the car, the world is on fire, things are falling apart, there's, asteroids and all this stuff. If you are calm in the car, that is a very different feeling than if you are anxious in the car or nervous, like you feel like something bad's going to happen. Those are two different sets of circumstances. So pay close attention to how you feel in the dream versus the physical representation of the dream that you are given. If you get too caught up in the physical representation, it can lead you astray and off path. It's just very important for you to remember, pay attention to how you feel, not what you see, because we are very limited in our perceptions. And next, not recalling your dreams doesn't necessarily mean you are not exploring or learning during sleep. It indicates that your physical self may not require that information at that time. Trust that you will comprehend what you need what you need to when the time is right. People ask me this all the time. I don't remember my dreams. I don't remember my dreams. I don't dream. I promise you, you dream. You just don't remember. I also promise you that you travel in your sleep. You just aren't aware of it. I have been shown multiple times by my own guides and told by other spiritual teachers that when you are learning something in your metaphysical life, in your spiritual life, it's not often applicable immediately in your physical life. So you don't remember the dream. But when the time comes for you to apply the information, it's somehow just there. So you want to give faith to the idea that you will know what you need to know when you need to know it, and trust that even though you don't remember your dreams, it doesn't mean that something's not happening, that you're stuck, that you're not moving forward, or any of that stuff. That's not what any of that means. It just means that what you are learning in that space is not something that's going to be applicable to where you are right now. It's kind of like the idea of studying for a math test, and then when the math test comes up, you just know the answers, that kind of idea. So try to look at it like that. It is not a failing on your end. It's nothing you're doing wrong. And while there are techniques you can use to help yourself remember, it's up to you what you do. I tend to, for my own sanity, just go along with whatever things are doing, however they look in the moment, and not trying to read too deeply down into it. If you have a particularly profound dream, write it down so that you can come back to it later and go, oh my gosh, no wonder this makes sense now in my physical world, because I had a dream that warned me or showed me or taught me or whatever that got me ready for this. So write down those profound dreams. I actually keep a dream journal, and my good friend LM Dream and Tarot actually has a dream guide on Amazon that is a workbook that helps you ask the right questions of your higher self so that you can write down the right things to help you remember your dreams. At the end of this broadcast, I will run and get it. It's in the other room, but I want to show you guys because it's very, very helpful. And I use it all the time. Other spiritual leaders and traditions echo the notion that sleep offers a gateway to higher realms of consciousness and spiritual growth. This is pretty much universal through most spiritual teachings. I'm not going to say religious teachings because there's a difference between organized religion and spiritual teachings, but for most spiritual teachings, there is this underlying current of there is something happening in the dream state, okay? Whether through meditation, lucid dreaming, or astral projection, individuals can consciously navigate the realms of the soul during sleep, accessing wisdom, healing, and profound insights that transcend the limitations of the physical body. Thus, while the physical body rests, the metaphysical aspect of ourselves embarks on a timeless voyage of discovery, expanding the boundaries of existence and deepening our connection to the infinite. So that is the lesson that I created for everyone. Hopefully that gave you a little bit of clarity about how energy works in the body, what's happening while you're sleeping, why do you get those rushes of heat, why can't I remember my dreams sometimes, why are my dreams so crazy sometimes. I tried to answer as many questions as I could with that. So I'm going to open the floor up to questions. If you have a question about energy, how energy works in the body, anything we've talked about, please go ahead and put it in the chat, and I will do my best to answer the questions for you. Hey, thank you so guys. Chrissy, it was Chrissy who suggested this topic, so I want to make sure. Chrissy, do you have any questions? Is there anything I did not answer for you that I can answer for you here? Fen says, but having crazy dreams in recent months, very lucid. Seems like they're all dreams about certain key points in my life. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Well, I'm glad you caught up. Nixon. Thank you, Vicky, for being here. Tanya says, I actually had a dream 25 years ago that was preparation for what is happening now. It was a remarkable dream. It was complete love. I love it. You astral travel in your sleep. That's fantastic. I have never astral traveled. How do you cleanse it? Like when you've channeled or meditation. So with the cleansing of your energy, you don't have to make it too involved, right? It's whatever you feel like works for you. My energy rituals are very, very simple. I sage myself. I stamp my feet 3 times. I use water to wash myself. All of those things are things you can do. But when you're in the metaphysical realm, you have to remember that nothing bad is going to happen to you. You're in the company of your higher self. You are protected. You are doing the learning you need to do, and you are in charge of your energy. So you don't need to be scared about what you're picking up from there. And I've never been told that I need to clean my energy or cleanse myself after dreaming. I just do it on a daily basis just to keep my energy hygiene up. But it's whatever works best for you. SLRD, great question. Since energy stays in motion, is it our duty to keep the energy also flowing through us? So, my personal opinion is that is the whole purpose of the chakra system. You have to remember that back in the day, before we wore shoes, we walked around barefoot on the ground, which meant that we were grounding all day long. The earth is oppositely charged from the physical human body. When you put your bare feet on the ground, you open that chakra area and you exchange energy with the earth. The earth sends you clean energy and takes away the old energy. So grounding is extremely helpful. And before we wore shoes on our feet, we were grounding all the time. So yes, short answer, it is important to keep your energy flowing. Stagnant energy builds up and becomes illness. But there's 1,000 different ways you can do that. Meditation, grounding, swimming, being in water is very helpful. Epsom salt baths, all these things are things you can do to help yourself. And it's not like you have to plan your day around getting your energy moving. Moving your body and moving your thoughts will get your energy moving. It's when you're stagnant, when you're couch locked watching terrible TV for hours on end, that's when your energy gets stagnant. Get up, move around, start getting those things moving. The more your energy moves around, the better you will feel. That I can tell you. Amy asks, how do I not jump scare myself out of sleep when I see a spirit's face come to me? I wish I could tell you. Maybe set the intention before you go to sleep. Have a conversation with yourself. I understand that I am in control of my energy. I understand that nothing can hurt me. I understand I'm here to learn. Try setting your intentions, but I don't have a good answer for you. I think it's just something that takes time to get used to, I guess. So Charles, I actually answered that question. What about when you don't remember your dreams? When you don't remember your dreams, what I have been told is because you are learning information that is not applicable to your physical life at this moment. That information is stored, and when it's ready, it comes up. Sorry, I got distracted. I just got a huge flash of energy over here. It's weird. When you are ready for that information that it has been stored, it comes up and is accessible to you. So just because you don't remember your dreams doesn't mean you're not learning something. Okay. Let's see. I've always kept a dream journal. Yes, dream journals are very helpful. Grounding, sage, and water are my 3 go-tos. Absolutely. That will absolutely get all of your stuff moving. You sit up when you're sleep, Taylor. I know somebody who sleep eats. It's crazy. Sleep paralysis. Sleep paralysis is a very scary feeling. My understanding about sleep paralysis, this is a great question. My understanding about sleep paralysis, both from a physical medicine standpoint and from a metaphysical point of view, is that you physically wake up before your metaphysical aspect is all the way back in your body. This gives you a sense of sleep paralysis. I've actually had conversations with multiple people who have experienced sleep paralysis, and many of them say the same things. They feel a sense of being in a tunnel, of being pulled, of feeling separated from themselves. Some of them say they can even see themselves. This is you becoming aware in your physical body before your metaphysical element has fully reconnected. Also, that feeling of falling, you know, when you fall asleep in the car and you wake up and you're like, you feel like you were falling, that is your energetic body dropping quickly into your energy because your physical body started to wake up and your metaphysical body was like, holy crap, and just jumped down in your body. It can give you a sensation of falling. So those are a couple things that you can do that I can tell you. Hey, thank you, Rainbow Sun. I love your name. So why do I stamp my feet 3 times? Okay, so what methods are appropriate? So Amy, here's a great thing. It doesn't matter. It's whatever works for you. The reason I stamp my feet 3 times, the reason I wear a necklace with 3 stones is because the power of 3 is very strong in numerology. It's cooperation, working together, all that sort of stuff. So 3s kind of are a theme for me personally. You don't have to do anything that doesn't feel right for you. Bashar, who's a channel that I follow quite a bit, talks about all of these little rituals and stuff that we do. These are just permission slips we give ourselves to help ourselves feel comfortable doing what we're doing. So as far as protecting your energy, resetting your energy, you just have to find what works best for you. For some people, it's using sage and smoke to clear your energy. For some people, it's putting your feet in a pan of water. For some people, it's just the intention of, I release anything that doesn't belong to me. It's really highly individual and based on you and what you feel like you need. But never be ashamed to do what you feel like you need to do. If you need a big elaborate ritual, then I'm not the person to tell you you not to do it. I want you to do whatever helps you feel good in the moment, as long as you are not hurting anybody else. So whatever works for you, that's what you want to do. Just allow yourself to try different things and see how they feel. But remember, your belief in the ability of it to work is key. If you are doing a ritual and telling yourself this is dumb, this is not going to work, then it's not going to work. You have to do something that works for you. Your intention and your belief is 900% important. It absolutely sets the tone for what you do and how things work for you. So you must believe what you're doing. That's why it's so personal, why you have to pick whatever works for you. Okay? Let's see. Yes, Terry, you are right. There are two lesser known chakras. Earth Star Chakra is located about 6 to 8 inches below your feet. This is how we connect with Mother Earth. The second, is, I lost it, 6 to 8 inches above your head and is the Soul Star. Yes, those are two chakras that I don't typically work with very often. You also have chakras in your hands. When I am doing energy work on someone, the chakras in my hands are what is most active, like a channel of flow, right? Let's see. Thank you, Wade. Let's see. Can any particular intention be set to encourage and expedite healing during sleep? That's a great question. I think it's really individual and up to you. You can set the intention however for whatever you want to happen. But remember, there's no timeline on healing, and depending on how deep the roots of the hurt go, it can take a long time. There's layers to healing, and often we start at the top layer, and as we peel down these layers, we get deeper and deeper and deeper. It becomes more and more difficult to heal because we're getting down to the root of the problem. So there's no rush to healing. I just want to say that everybody's going to heal in their own time. You should never compare yourself to anyone else. Only ever compare yourself to earlier versions of you. Those earlier versions of you can help give you perspective on how far you've come, but don't compare yourself to someone else. As far as setting intentions for healing, you just want to set the intention of, I'm going to let go of whatever is not suiting me. I'm going to move forward with whatever is in my best interest. I'm going to do my best to let go of whatever this is, and just trust that you are doing what you can, but you don't want to force anything. Because the thing with healing, and every time I say this, people hate to hear it, but you have to feel it in order to heal it. By deferring your emotions, you are not healing anything. You have to allow yourself to feel fully all of the emotions tied to whatever event or perception that you have. And by allowing yourself to feel them, reactivating that still energy into an energy in motion or an emotion, reactivating it into your system, it can see its way out. But the more stagnant and still it is, the harder it is to get it moving again. So you have to just let all of these things come up, okay? Just let all of these things come up. Let's see. So, Chrissy, you don't sleep well at all, and I actually feel worse after sleeping. Why do you think this is? I don't know. I wish I had a better answer for you. Physically, some of the things that can keep your physical body from shutting down is anxiety, stress, caffeine, eating too late at night, not enough physical exercise, not getting your body moving enough, not drinking enough water. These are all physical things that can make you not sleep. For me, I drink sleepy time tea. It's literally called sleepy time tea. And it helps me to relax. It's got chamomile and lavender and a couple other things, and will help to calm my energy down. I try not to watch TV at least half an hour before I go to bed, because blue light will stimulate your brain. That I can tell you from my days in medicine. Blue light will absolutely stimulate your receptors in your eyes, which stimulates your brain and gets your brain firing. So if you're watching TV before you go to bed, it won't work. Cannabis is an option. I'm a fan. Whatever works for you. Whatever works for you. Smudging, all these things. But if it's gotten to the point where you literally are not getting enough sleep and you feel terrible in the mornings, please talk to your doctor to see if there's something else going on that can be fixed. Sometimes a vitamin imbalance will also do that. Vitamin D and vitamin E specifically can make it very difficult. I rarely feel tired, but it's almost like I force myself to stay awake. Okay, so Chrissy, here's the other thing that comes up with energy work. Since I started working with my own energy and then my energy has become more efficient, I sleep far less than I used to. So you have to think of it this way. The more in contact with your energy, the more you are aware of your energy, the more you are I call it cycling your energy or running your energy, where you're down, where you're taking in new and letting out old, the more you're grounding, all that stuff, the more efficient your energy system becomes. And you may not require as much sleep. I used to go to bed at 9 o'clock at night and sleep till 11 o'clock in the morning, no problems. And now I go to bed at 10 or 11 at night and I get up at 2, at 3, at 4, at 5, and about 5:30 I finally get up. So this is just an indication to me that I'm further in alignment with my energy. I have better grasp on my energy. I'm able to be more efficient in the processing of things. But it goes along with the idea of being more aware of how your energy moves. Yes. So I'm sorry, I'm going to say your name wrong because I can't even see it. Sumaya. She's right, Chrissy. It can be like a lot of no. So I want to tell you right now, you are not missing any spiritual learning. Please don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. You get what you need when you get it. You don't need to beat yourself up because you feel like you're missing out on something. You are absolutely not missing out on something. Not everybody's going to have the same experience. It's going to be what works best for you, but you are not missing anything that you need to know. Trust that. You have to trust that. By getting all up in your anxiety, that can make it worse. You don't want to get stuck there. But the other person was right. There are many mineral and vitamin deficiencies that can cause that feeling of sleeplessness in you. Even if you're not tired, the need to rest could be a vitamin D or a vitamin E or even a magnesium deficiency. So you want to check into those things and make sure all those things are okay. Depression can absolutely mess with your sleep. Absolutely. So Amy, that's a great question. Do you have the experience if you use cannabis to sleep, you don't dream? I personally have had that experience, and I've had many people tell me, and if someone is a heavy cannabis user, I struggle to connect with their energy because it's cloudy. It's not clear. It clouds your mind. Trust me, this is not a judgment on using cannabis at all, but cannabis dulls your senses. And while it can make you more open to a spiritual experience, it messes with your memory. So it can make it hard to remember. So it's really up to you. I have no judgment about any of that stuff. You guys do whatever you want to, whatever works for you. You do what works for you. But yes, I have heard that experience that cannabis can make it difficult to remember your dreams. But again, going along with the idea that you remember what you need to remember when you need it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. Wade, I'm so glad you found me too. Solar flares, Danielle, 100%. Solar flares can also affect our sleep. One thing that happens with big solar storms, like the one we have over the past weekend, is it decimates our geomagnetic field around the earth. I'll actually show you a picture. So when we were going through all these storms, right, this is the picture of our geomagnetic field. As you can see, it got completely blown off the planet by this energy. When this happens, it can produce feelings of anxiety, of restlessness, of nervousness, all this stuff. Your whole body's like, ooh. And if that happens overnight, especially if it happens overnight, it can definitely make it hard to sleep. So yes, absolutely, activity from the sun makes a difference. If we are receiving lots of energy, it can make it very difficult to sleep. APEC, yes. And APEC says been using cannabis for over 50 years and they still dream. So like I said, everybody's different. Everybody's different. Isn't what a disease? Yeah, I've heard different stories. I've heard some people tell me when they stop using cannabis, they have more dreams. I've had people tell me that the cannabis doesn't affect their dreams. I've had people tell me that cannabis helps them connect more fully to their higher selves. And where I think that comes in is cannabis tends to keep you very present in the moment. You're not thinking about the future or the past. You're very present, and it gets your all of your negative self-talk sort of out of the way and expands the opening of your mind a lot. Yeah, it can also cause a lot of brain fog. You're right, Beefy. So Kelly, with the GERD and the solar flares, I'm gonna suggest to you that you look into your solar plexus chakra. Maybe you're receiving a lot of energy in that solar plexus, pushing up old stuff to the surface, coming out in the form of GERD. This is a way of releasing. So maybe look into that solar plexus. Solar plexus is all about creative expression and how you view yourself in the world. If that's in a state of change, it can absolutely start to manifest in that way. So maybe start looking back on that. What's your thoughts on that our real life happens while we are dreaming? So I have some thoughts on that. I believe very strongly that time is not linear, right? That our experience right now with life is linear because that's how our human brains process information. However, time is not linear. The only moment is right now. And you have to remember your higher self is here having many life experiences all happening at the same time. So if you have a hyper realistic dream, right? I've been told by the person who did my hypnosis 3 times, and she's an expert in this. She told me that when you have a hyper realistic dream where you feel the feelings, you see the things, you remember it when you wake up, these are memories, so to speak, of a different life experience you have, glimpses into other experiences that your higher self is having. This is not you, Chrissy, having that experience. You may see yourself or perceive yourself as Chrissy because that's how your human mind in this experience perceives you, but it's a different version of your higher self having a different life experience. I've had many of these come forward, especially after having my hypnosis done. I started having spontaneous past life regressions multiple times. And when I tell you these experiences are profound, there is no bigger word for that. No bigger word. And Meta, I believe you're very connected to your higher self, so it wouldn't surprise me at all if you are living these experiences. But when I have these experiences, so one of them I had was very, very deep and profound, and it took me a good 2 or 3 days before I could even talk about it. That's how deeply it affected me. I was very emotional and very sad and very overwhelmed with the emotion that came through in that experience. And it took days for me to even be able to talk about it. And then it took months for me to be able to talk about it without crying because it was such a profound and deep experience. So keep that in mind, that when you have a deep, profound experience, it's a glimpse into another life experience that you're having. You have to remember that just because it doesn't look human or you don't look human doesn't mean it's not happening. There are infinite other existences that are out there. So why not be a bug in one of them? You know what I'm saying? It's all about life experience. Kern said, cannabis has been a blessing for me, helps me relax and live in the moment. Yeah, I don't have any issue with it. I think whatever works for you is what works for you. Yes, Terry, I agree. Humans are the only species that measure time as linear. Let's see. You want to do the hypnosis? I highly suggest it. So Derek says, you said you've done 3 QHHT sessions. I'm so wanting to do a session myself, hoping to clear some energy not needed anymore. Yes, I would say it changed my life. I would say it profoundly changed my life. It gave me very clear insight onto some behaviors that I had, including chronic migraines. I have chronic migraines, and no doctor in my entire life has been able to stop them or tell me where they come from. They are debilitating to the point of putting me in the hospital multiple times. And in my past life experience, I was given insight as to where they come from. And they didn't go away. Don't get me wrong, they didn't go away. They are less frequent, but I now understand where they come from. And the unknown is what gives me the anxiety. You know what I'm saying? I don't dream often, but when I do, they are so emotional. So Chrissy, maybe it's the fact that you're so tied to your higher self that you are pulling in all of these different experiences because you have a strong connection. Maybe look at it from that side. Amity says, I had a PLR session and I found out I was a tree after a cataclysm. It was wild. I know. So in the one where with the migraine, I was actually some kind of insect looking thing. I don't know what it was, but I had this antennas that came out of my head right about here, and my migraines are right here. And in this experience, there was an injury, and the antenna was damaged or broken right here. And literally, that is exactly where I get my migraines in my head, and that's where it comes from. Question, is the quality of energy sticky, especially negative energy picked up from others? Feels like a tar to me and slow to remove. It can be. So here's the thing with energy. If you are not if you have not established clear boundaries, or if you are a strong empath, energy can be very sticky. It's like the idea of when you walk into a room and you're in a great mood and you walk into the room and you feel your energy switch like this. All of that energy from the collective in the space has come to you. It can be very difficult to not embody that. It's learning to recognize, does this belong to me or does this not belong to me? And then it's all about intention. I am not going to hold on to any of this energy that doesn't belong to me. I'm going to let this go. I'm going to move on, all of that sort of stuff. That's what you want to do. But yes, it's very possible to pick up on lots of energy, especially from an angry collective. Right now, there's so much anger in the world that it's hard not to pick up on it. But it's about learning to differentiate between what belongs to you and what does not belong to you. This is mine, this is not mine. I'm going to take this with me and leave this here. This is why I do those rituals for myself before I walk in my house, those 3 stomps on the ground to shake off any energy that doesn't belong to me. In the shower, when I'm done with everything, I stand under the water and I ask Mother Earth to wash away the energy from my system that doesn't belong to me. All these things are things I do to really get my energy lined up with who I am and who I want to be, rather than being by default all this energy. Yes. Meta says I've had to walk out of stores, restaurants, etc. because of the energy you feel at the door. Absolutely. Time accelerates with age. Now that I'm dying, now that I'm old, it flies. I want to say that's 100% true for me too. I feel like time is speeding up. It's going faster and faster. However, someone pointed out to me that because as a child you live in the present far more often than you do as an adult, that's what feeds that sensation of time flying by, right? As an adult, we get so focused on the future and all the obligations we think we have that it feels like time is going faster because those obligations are coming closer and closer and closer. As a child, you live in the moment. You're worried about riding your bike to your friend's house and not falling down the hill. You're not worried about, do I have to pay this bill? So yes, I do believe time feels like it is going faster, but it's all due to our attention and where we put our focus. If you focus in the present moment, time tends to slow down. While in the moment you may feel like it's going slow, you look down at your watch and you go, oh my gosh, it's been an hour, that sort of thing. So yes, I agree. Smudging with white sage and Palo Santo is an excellent way to do stuff also. All right, let's see. Yes, Chrissy is correct. We need to remember how to connect with how we are feeling and why we are feeling that way throughout the day. Absolutely. Yes, learning to transmute energy is a difficult thing, but you can do it. You can absolutely do it. Body aches, it's all dependent on you. If you have specific body aches, like an example I can give you is lower back achiness. A lot of times is related to some issues in the sacral chakra. Sacral chakra is connected to intimate relationships, any close friendships, any close relationships you have. Maybe there's some work that needs to be done, some evaluation that needs to take place. Were you giving more than receiving? Where are you receiving more than you're giving? Where are you out of balance? The aches really depend on where they are in your body, but it's a lot of times a barometer asking you to reevaluate these chakras around that area to give you clarity on what you need to work on. That's where those body aches a lot of times come from. That and arthritis and all the other physical things that go on. So, question, negative energy feels very thick, heavy, and dense. Is that because it's not flowing? It's because it's a lower vibration in my experience. When I'm doing energy work with someone, if I go over a chakra that has a lot of density, it will physically pull my hands down because the vibration is slower, right? So it's settled more. High vibration energy is moving like this. So it's constantly feels like it's moving. The lower, the more dense the energy is, exactly what it sounds like. The more dense it becomes, the heavier it becomes, the less fast, the slower it vibrates. So it can feel very, very heavy in the system. When you feel weighed down and heavy, it's because a lot of times it's because you have a lot of density in the space that you're holding on to, and it's time to let that go. Yeah, solar forehead pressure, that goes along with that third eye coming online. Your pineal gland is literally in the middle of your head and it's shaped like a tiny little pine cone. As this connects to the energy throughout your body, it opens up that third eye and allows in clarity. So I get that from a lot of people. I get it from a lot of people, that third eye bothering them. Any last minute questions? Empathy increased so much that I have heavy crying episodes. Wow, lots of crying lately. Lots of releasing. Sometimes I have a hard time determining why I'm experiencing physical pain. You're not the only one, Prissy. Me too. I will have a physical pain and not be able to figure it out. So trust me, that's not a you thing, that's an everybody thing. I think it just takes time to get used to figuring out how your body works. And sometimes that physical pain, the energy that has gotten stuck has been there so long that you have to treat the physical side first. I am a believer in physical medicine. I just don't believe that it should be the end all be all, that you throw pills at people and tell them to just be okay now that their symptoms are okay. I believe that medication should be used as a tool to help you rise above the symptoms long enough to work on the underlying problem. I still believe in medicine, and I completely understand if you are experiencing depression, it is hard to be optimistic about your life. So you take the medication so that the symptom of the depression goes away with the intention of getting into therapy, energy work, and all the stuff to help work on the underlying feelings that cause the depression with an eye to the goal of getting off the medication. That's how I feel like it should work, but you got to do what works best for you. Jennifer, with the time, no, I mean, it's hard to say. I'm sure you didn't imagine it. I had an episode of Lost Time that was about 8 hours long the other day. Oh my gosh, there's the cutest little green bird on my windowsill right now. Totally checking me out. Oh, hey, birdie. I wish I could show you guys. By the time I get it off here, he'll be gone. Journaling absolutely can be very, very helpful. Okay, question from SLRD. You have so many good questions. How come our prosperity starts to increase and flow as we get our chakras flowing? What's the connection? Density of energy, old beliefs. A lot of stagnation in your energy comes from beliefs that you're holding on to that are not serving you. As you go through the healing process and release some of those limiting beliefs, it frees up the energy to allow in new space for new energy. So as you stop focusing on all the things going wrong and all the limiting beliefs you have, it opens up law of attraction to bring you more of what you want instead of what you observe. Law of attraction is a very, very, very real thing. Very real thing. I'm telling you, it is very real. Where you put your focus is where your energy goes. 1000%. That's why it is called paying attention. Law of attraction is not hard. It is just an echo chamber. The universe always says yes. So if you're looking around going, oh my gosh, it's a beautiful day and I love this, the universe says, yes, here's more. If you're looking around going, oh, today sucks and everything's going wrong and I can't get out from underneath, the universe looks at you and goes, yes, here's more. The universe is always going to say yes. So be careful what you're asking for. If you are paying attention to everything happening around you and feeling out of control in your life, you are literally handing that to law of attraction and saying, this is what I want more of. It's not about ignoring the world around you, but about finding a balance between focusing on what you want and what you have to do. You know what I'm saying? It's very much this feeling of you've got to take the time to focus on feeling better. You have to find a way to feel better first in order to bring in better things for yourself. That is how law of attraction works. 888 hertz is the money attraction frequency. Fantastic. I love it. Yes, meds need an exit plan. Absolutely. So spiritual grandma, this feeling of living in two different worlds, I had that the other day. It happened all day long. I felt like I was outside of my body. I almost felt like I was observing myself. There was a very weird disconnection and it lasted most of the day. It was the first day of the energy storm though, so I kind of attributed it to that. But yes, that does happen to me too. Absolutely. All right, you guys. I'm so glad, Kelly. Thank you for being here. If there are no more questions, I'm going to let you guys go. I try to be respectful of the time. It's been just about an hour, so I want to be respectful. I will be back tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for all of those subscribing, paying subscribers. We do shadow work classes. Make sure you do your homework. It was posted in the Facebook group. So if you would like to participate in that, you need to become a paying subscriber. We do a class exercises like this 2 a week, and then the replay is available for paying members on YouTube. This replay is available for everybody and will be on YouTube as soon as I'm off of here, so please feel free to share it out. Thank you for stopping by. Meta, thank you so much for being here. Chrissy, thank you for the great topic. SLRD, thank you for so many great questions. I appreciate that. I love questions. I really do. You guys have a great afternoon. I hope today is a wonderful afternoon for you. Make it your own, and I love your face, Meta. Please tell B, I'm so proud of her, so proud of her. Our girls are starting out at the same time on a great foot. I'm so excited to see how it goes. I'll be a grandma first. I'll go first in a couple years. I'll go first, Meta, and I'll tell you how awesome it is, and then you can do it. Okay, high five. Okay, all right, I will talk to you guys later. Have a great afternoon. I will see you tomorrow morning when I'm live for Oracle card readings on TikTok. If you would like a private reading with me, they are available. Show notes, links are there. You know where to find me. All right, you guys, have a beautiful afternoon, and I will see you guys later. Bye.